Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Cop Update with the LFC Daytrippers. I am Gav, and we are here for the next half an hour or so. It's Monday, it's the start of another week, so yeah, let's see how we are. On today's show, if you're in here, throw anything you have in there. I see Garrett McDonald has thrown something in, which I will get to in a second. Your comments are the most important bit. If you want to hit the like button, if you want to share it across your social media, or you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that as well. Let me see. James reckons there's a quadruple incoming. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Until it's not possible, I am with you on that. Ali Ace's squad looking so strong, and to add Carvalho to this squad for next season, he's delighted with that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. Garrett McDonald says, afternoon all, the Echo are reporting Liverpool are closely monitoring Corentin Tolisso at Bayern, available on a free in the summer, and Nicolo Zaniolo at Roma, who's stalling on new contract talks. So there you go. Afternoon, Reds. I'm on time in case Gav starts his slander again. It wasn't slander. We made an accusation against you last night. You still have to prove it wasn't you, Red Steve. And if you can prove that, absolutely fine. If not, we stand by everything we said. How does that sound? Dylan O'Rourke says, afternoon. Dylan O'Rourke, of course, my quiz partner for Thursday night. You better be studying big time for Thursday night. We have a massive score to try be come Thursday and the quiz, so make sure you do that. Emma Kavanagh says, new hoodie for Valentine's, Gav. No, not quite. It's just a hoodie, mate. I've loads of them. So that's it. Neil All says, Stephen, don't start, please. Afternoon says Kevin Ball. Afternoon, Kevin Ball. I titled this show Liverpool looking so strong. And the reason I done it was because Chris made a point on the show last night when he went, isn't it amazing how the incoming of Luis Diaz changes the perspective on the whole squad? And it really, really has. And coupled with players coming back from injury, coming back from tournaments, just to see the players that were left out of the squad yesterday was, and I said this last week, there's big decisions to be made by Jurgen Klopp, and I'm already getting the hint of, he's not in the squad, like Joe Gomez, for argument's sake. Joe Gomez, what happened to him in the summer? He's not in the squad at the moment. Minamino wasn't in the squad. Curtis Jones wasn't in the squad despite playing the last couple of games. And I'm starting to wonder if, when we look at this, is it something we just have to get used to? Because let's be honest, no matter how good our players are, right, or how good we've performed and the trophies we've won, there's always been a question around our squad. And when you have injuries like we had last season, which were horrific, when you have injuries like that, you start getting questions around players. And rightfully so in some cases, where you go, look, they're always injured or they're not performing or whatever, and that's absolutely fine. But isn't it a bit mad that we're fully fit now? And now it's like, and Chris said it again last night as well, and this is why I want to touch on it. People are like, oh, well, we're so strong, we have all these players, so this fella needs to go. This fella needs to go. I'm all for strengthening the squad. If one needs to go out and one needs to go in, I'm absolutely fine with that. But do we need to just get away? Like, I don't hear this from Man City fans. Man City have a phenomenal squad. Made up, spent a huge amount of money on them. They've handpicked who they've needed. They literally have 2 11s to put out there, no issues. And we don't hear from them going, oh, he has to go. They just go, we've all these here, and we can use this, and we can use that, and we can use this, and it doesn't matter. That's where we want to get to, isn't it? Isn't that, it has to be where we want to get to. Do we need to cut out the immediate reaction of, it's a full squad, we pick 11, we pick, I think it's 7 subs, isn't it? Or 9 subs, and you play whatever it is, how many's on the bench, and then you're looking going, there's 3 or 4 going to miss out here. Should we not be looking at that as a real positive going, it's not nice for Joe Gomez, Minamino, Curtis Jones, and whoever else was left out of the squad yesterday, but it's up to them to get back into it. And we need to kind of change our outlook. Now, I'm not saying that without the caveat of, don't get me wrong, if you feel that we could upgrade a centre midfielder, if you feel we could upgrade an attacker, a fullback, a centre back, a goalkeeper, whatever it might be, that's absolutely fine. But do we need to stop looking to just go, this player, he won't play again. This player's like, it's not going to happen for him. He's out of the squad. Like, I still think Joe Gomez could have a part to play in this season. You know, there's nothing to stop a centre half getting injured or lose a bit of form or have a dip or anything could happen. Joe Gomez comes back in, because I think Joe Gomez probably needs 1 or 2 impressive games beside Van Dijk, and people will go, do you remember how good they were? Like, they were phenomenal in the 1920 season. They were phenomenal, you know, and you can't forget that. Now, I understand Joe Gomez had a big injury since. It's taken him a while to come back. But overall, the question I suppose I'm asking is it hard, and I actually understand if the answer to this is yes, is it hard for us to deal mentally as a fan base with a fully fit squad where I think all of them have something to offer? Is it difficult for us to do that? And is a coping mechanism with that, oh, if we get rid of him and he won't play, and we get rid of him and him, and we nearly like to live on the edge a little bit, and when that comfort comes, we're not too sure how to deal with it. It's a strange one, and it was from listening to the lads last night and watching the chat last night that I kind of went, we look so strong. How do we, as a fan base, deal with this mentally? Because I think the way to look at it is going, if you trust a manager and you're giving him all the pawns to play with, that he's actually brought in the vast majority of these players, you just have to be happy and go, let him deal with it. That's all you wanted from him. All you wanted from him was as many players available as possible, on form, you know, performing when they come in, pushing to get into the first 11, pushing to get onto the bench even, and leave the rest of the man that knows what he's doing. Do we struggle to deal with it? That's the question. Let me read out some stuff. The lack of injuries is a massive thing as well. We normally have at least a few. We absolutely do, and we could have in 3 or 4 weeks where we're back where we were, where we always feel we are. You know, the sort of way. The squad being fit is a major boost, especially coming through January the way we did, says Kev O'Sullivan. Fully agree. Scott's mate says, good afternoon, Gav. I think this is the strongest squad I've seen. I've been watching since 2005, and I've never seen a squad stronger than the squad we have now. Yeah, I think that's very fair, Scott. We were talking last night, maybe 2000, 2001, 2002, around then was really good, but you had less subs on the bench, and it didn't feel so much like a squad game. Even going back, it's 20 years now, but even going back then, it didn't feel so much like a squad game as it does now. Luis Diaz and 1 or 2 coming back from injury, and our squad looks unreal, says Stephen. I think it's because we have 5 top options up front. Yeah, I think it's huge. And even if you put Minamino and Origi in there, Minamino I think has been more than okay this season. Origi, it's been disappointing that he was injured when we kind of needed him, but he scored a couple of big goals for us this season as well. But his future for me will be one of the 4s that might be sorted in the summer. Gomez's situation is difficult, says Kev, because no one expected Matip to stay fit this much this season. Plus, Gomez's injury was meant to be worse than VVD, so it might take him a while longer to get going again. That's very fair. That's very fair. And this is what I'm saying. And you know what? You've made a great point, because instead of us looking going, oh, Gomez isn't in the squad, right? And he was in the squad 2 or 3 squads ago. Do we need to look at it, and Klopp is probably talking to the player, the medical team are talking to the player and saying, you know what, look, we're not writing you off, but we're actually in a good place at the moment where we feel we can give you the proper time to come back and be absolutely right in what you're doing. Because I've no doubts that Jurgen Klopp values and thinks that Joe Gomez is a really, really good player and a valuable member of this squad. So yeah, it could be one of those where they've just found the right time to say, right, Joe, listen, you were in squad, you're getting the odd game, we're going to give you a little bit more time and we'll get you in. You know, we have a little bit of a buffer at this time. And this is where it comes back to the mentality where people go, Joe Gomez is not in the squad. Aston Villa want Joe Gomez. Steven Gerrard will try to get Joe Gomez. I'm sad to see him go. How much will we get? Are we making too much of this? Because at the end of the day, Van Dijk, Konate, Matip, Gomez, they are 4 centre-backs. Like, we call out for centre-back options. You've seen it last season where we were struggling, but that was an outlier for me, you know. But at the end of the day, like, if you sold Joe Gomez on the last day of the January transfer window, Nat Phillips had left, okay, and you were bringing Reece Williams back from Swansea, people would have went, what are we fucking doing here? It's still our 4 centre-backs. Now, I can't see him playing 2 centre-backs on the bench anyway, along with 2 on the pitch. You know, especially if you have a Fabinho there, for if it's an emergency within the squad on match day. But it's still our 4 centre-backs, so it's an interesting one. Owen says the Gomez one isn't a massive thing for me because no need to have 2 centre-backs at the bench. Sorry, I didn't even read that before I said it. On the bench, I think Klopp said that previously. If the squad stays fit for most of the season, we get an idea of who Klopp wants in his match day squad the majority of the time. We shouldn't worry about leaving players out. City don't worry. That's my point exactly. That's not our concern. All we can ask is that a manager who I believe is the best we've had since Bob Paisley, if that manager has all the pawns that he has put in place in the squad available to him for the vast majority of what's left of this season, you just trust him because we know how good he is. We absolutely know how good he is. Hopefully we have these options for the cup final. Yeah, that's coming up in a couple of weeks. MC says, notice we ain't talking about Divock or Taki anymore. That's how good our depth is now. I am still talking about them. I am, because, you know, we need all the players. With the competition room, we will need them all. And this is the point I'm trying to make. Don't write it off. Don't just write players off because, don't get me wrong, Mane, Salah, Jota, Diaz, Firmino. You're going to pick three of them from that 5 for the vast majority of the games. But don't write the lads off when an FA Cup game comes along like Norwich and you go, you know what, we've big European games coming up. The league is still there. Minamino, throw him in. Origi, throw him in. Wherever it might be. You don't write them off. This is what the squad is all about. If you look at the bench yesterday, Diaz, Elliott, Tsimikas, Konate, Jota are all players we signed in the last couple of years and shows how strong our depth is, says Sam Tandy. Sorry, there's loads of stuff coming in, so I'll keep reading them out and kind of pushing stuff on it. Red says, spot on, Gav. Tired already of Pete wanting exits from our squad. We've been waiting for strength and depth in our squad. Name me any other player who can do what Bobby does. I think if you look at people wanting exits, there's a couple of names that are going to 100% pop up. There's just no way around it. You know, I'm on record. I think Origi will go. There's a chance Minamino goes. There's a chance both of them go, and you go with them 5 lads up front. Only if, for me, if Milner signs a new deal, he stays there, but I think it's in a much more reduced capacity. If Carvalho comes in, he's looked upon for me as a midfielder. I think he might make a decision on one other midfielder and bring another one in, because numbers wise we're fine. It's about keeping those numbers high all season. But with regards to Firmino, you could have an argument over his output over the last while. I still look at him and think the guy just never stops playing football. But look, I'll always go back to it. I'm on here, you're on here. You're giving an opinion, I'm giving an opinion. There's other podcasts, channels, media, journals, wherever it might be. They all give an opinion. But at the end of the day, if Jurgen Klopp has all these players available, I think he's ultra confident of getting results for Liverpool and ultra confident of realistically landing some trophies for Liverpool. So our opinion will always go on, but how much it matters, it doesn't really. But at the end of the day, Jurgen Klopp with all them players, I'm fully on board. I'm getting very, very close and indeed achieving what he wants to achieve. Let me see. I'll just scroll down here because there's loads and loads and loads of them. Let me get down here. 18-19, we only conceded about 9 goals in 20 games with Gomez and VVD starting. Joe Gomez is an outstanding defender. Like, is he as good as Matip in the air? Probably not. Is he faster? Yeah. Does he cover better? Yeah. Is he a better footballer? They're on a par. With Konate is probably the one where you look and go, he's really good in the air, he's really strong, he's a good passer as well. I think you'd probably front up Konate against Gomez more, but that's what you want. If we have to argue over who centre half is better from 3 of them 4 because Van Dijk is just Van Dijk, that's what you want. That's exactly where you want. Saravan Dena Dialan, and I hope I got that right. Having the fully fit squad is a lovely headache and something we've never had. Trust in Klopp to get it right. Yeah, absolutely. Tor says, Gav, on the squad, it's a side effect of a distorted league. We have to be perfect and media embraced. First is first, second is nowhere, to a level we haven't seen before. The levels in the league are unbelievable. You know, if we win our game in hand, we will be 6 points behind Man City. Currently 7 points clear of Chelsea, and I don't know how many clear of fourth. But I would expect, realistically, Liverpool and City to be 10, 12 points clear easy of third place. So it's one of those where the levels are absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? And City have, with the way they've spent, with the way they've put a squad together, and with the way they play, have brought it to the stage where air levels have to be nigh on perfect. But having said that, Guardiola makes a really good point today, and I'm not his biggest fan, but he says, I don't believe Jurgen Klopp when he says he thinks he can't catch us. And the reason for it is, and it's a good point, he says, look at the run we're on, and realistically we'll only be 6 points clear, right? And if you look at it, I can easily pick you out 3 games. Forget what City have done, because they've been brilliant, right? And one of their losses, the first game of the season away to Spurs. The other one, I'm trying to remember now, but they draw Southampton and does bits and pieces. But I could easily pick you 3 games where Liverpool should have won the game, no problem. Chelsea away, Brighton at home, Brentford away. There's 3 that we drew, and we should have won the game. Okay, and that will put us level with City. But that's how tight it is, and that's where Guardiola is saying, no matter how good they've been, we're only 6 points clear, and we probably shouldn't be. So that's just how small the gap is in being perfect and being like literally people not talking about title race. You know, we're fixing to smash the Premier League, and Inter are going to get slapped hard out of the Champions League. Tie will be over this week. I like your confidence. 4 wins in a row now in the Premier League. Hopefully we can go on a 10+ win streak and see if City crack or not. Next one to crack. Next one to make a mistake. I'm telling you, it's absolutely, you know, it's ridiculous. I don't know why Palace at home is coming up. Is it something I said, or is it? Sorry, Palace at home. They lost to Palace at home. Sorry, you've answered my question for me. Yeah. Southampton taking 2 draws versus City. Nothing is impossible. Yeah, nothing is impossible. But this is what I'm trying to get around to. Nothing is impossible. But what's our best chance? Okay? Our best chance is all these players available, Jurgen Klopp in charge of them, and let's park. This fella needs to go. This fella needs to go. This fella shouldn't be here in the summer. He mightn't be, but he's here now. Let's park all that. Let's see what we can do with 23, 24 players, you know, available, and see how far we can go. It's City's to lose at this stage. It's in their hands, says Veranda Cheese. 100% is. That's why I think if City were to draw the game, and if we beat Leeds and get it to 6, and City were to draw and we were to win, and it gets it down to 4, we have to win at the Etihad. We have to win at the Etihad, because if we get a slip between now and then from City, and we go in and win at the Etihad, and we're down to 1 or level, right? Or even if we go toe to toe and we beat them there and it's down to 3, there'll be 7 games left with 3 points in it. Trust me, I don't care how fucking good Man City are, and I don't care how good Liverpool are. The nerves will jangle, and it'll be whoever holds it to get our best, because they're both brilliant teams. But when it gets down to things like that, anything can happen. Manchester United in 2011-12 are 8 points clear of Man City with 6 games to go, I think, and they lose the title on goal difference. That's how much it can just change in a blink of an eye. Jake Semister says, Gav, just a general question. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I haven't seen your name in here before, but Jake, I'm good. Monday, start of another week, but I'm good. Let's talk about Virgil van Dijk. So Virgil van Dijk, horrific injury last season. He's out for, is it 10 months he's out for? Something like that. And he's come back and he's looked really good. And at times he's looked, I think Matip has outperformed him in certain games. But I've got the sense over the last couple that Virgil van Dijk looks like he's back to feeling like Virgil van Dijk before, pre-injury. I thought I think he plays against Cardiff, and he's really good. Now, people would say it's only Cardiff, but there was something different about him. He plays against Leicester on Thursday, and he just had that impenetrable look off him. Whether it was in the air, along the ground, covering, his passing, everything about him looked brilliant. And yesterday was another different kind of challenge, and he marshalled that line perfectly. And the evidence is there in, the amount of times that Burnley get caught offside, despite it being made out that they had a lot of chances, a lot was offside. I just think he's looking back to his absolute best. Does anybody agree? Does anybody disagree? Throw it in the chat and we'll have a little chat about it before we finish up. Sam reckons Van Dijk just keeps on getting better and better. Just hope he stays fit now. Absolutely. Nay compliments me hoodie. Thanks. The obsession with the hoodies is mental. Everton's annual spanking is normally City, and it will probably happen again. Remember 13-14 Everton when fans celebrated City scoring? Yes. But Everton can't hold up on this. Everton, they've got a good win against Leeds, but other teams around them have won as well. Newcastle, Norwich are beaten, but listen, all it'll take is another Everton defeat and someone wins a game and they pull back. They're right in it. There's no doubt about it. Until Everton put 2 or 3 wins on the board and put themselves probably 6-7 points clear of the bottom 3. Right now they're still in it. And when it comes around to that City game, which I think is coming up very soon, they're still in it. They'll still have to have a go at City. Will they beat City? No, in my opinion. But they will have to have a go. They really will. Which Spurs will show up against City? The one who where to dare is to do, or the one that plays in North London, says Red Steve. They've been very poor. Before we get back onto Van Dijk, but Spurs, I don't know what. I didn't feel like it was a window they wanted to have. I know they signed 2 players, Bentancur and the other guy, but it just felt like they were doing it for the sake of doing it. And they've just dropped points everywhere. Like they were well beaten. They were beaten 3-2 by Southampton, well beaten. It looks like they were well beaten by Wolves at home as well. Nobody really wants that top 4 spot. United draw at the weekend, West Ham draw. And it's just, Arsenal didn't play. Spurs had these games in hand, and they're starting to disappear, these games in hand. And the advantage they could have had if they put a couple of results on the board is starting to disappear. And I just don't know if Conte suits them. I just don't know if he suits them. Chris Brack reckons Van Dijk is getting closer to his best. He's starting to lose that positional rustiness on the turn, which caught him out at Leicester away, for example. Scary for the rest of the league. City haven't looked great the last few games, says Emma. They've not been blowing teams away. 2 draws and a loss to us, and it's in our hands. Everyone concentrating on City losing. A couple of draws will do. A horrific injury caused by this Poxy continue to play, even though it's offside rules from Veranda Cheers. Yeah, we discussed that last night. I can't get my head around it. I really can't. Seeing Virgil back puts a smile on my face. He is the face of Liverpool's strength. Just seeing him getting better and better. It's brilliant. And he was a bit rusty. And Matip was covering a couple of times. But just the last couple of games, he's just looked imperious, to be honest with you. Passio says, VVD looking a lot better in the last few games. He has been pouring. However, he was looking a bit hesitant prior to the international break, but the break seems to have done him the world of good. Yeah, it was probably, he's building back up from the start of the season. He gets that break, he comes back, and it's probably just his body settling now. And he just feels comfortable, I think. He just feels comfortable. And look, no matter how good you are, when you're out for that amount of time with that sort of injury, there's always going to be a niggling doubt. And to get a good run of games, have a rest, reassess, and go back and go, yeah, everything is grand. I'm delighted. Paul Gormley doesn't rate Everton's chances with Frank Lampard. He says he hasn't got a clue. Arsenal, we got the top 4, Gav. Who do you think gets the 4th spot? Throw it in the chat who you think gets the 4th spot. It's definitely Liverpool, City. I think Chelsea will more than have enough. But who's getting that top? Like, look at the form Wolves are on. Wolves are starting to creep into contention there. Really creep into contention. Now, it might be a bit too much of them with the size of the squad they have or the quality in the squad, but stranger things have happened when you actually start to look at the results going around West Ham, United, Spurs. Arsenal probably look most promising at the moment, in fairness to them. I know the Wolves get beaten by Arsenal, but overall Wolves have been playing well. Arsenal do look the ones that could capitalise on all this. The only worry I have about Arsenal is how many games have they got against big teams left, because they just don't seem to win them. They really, really don't. Conte got lied to by Spurs chairman. Promises broken, says Match Shire. It just doesn't look like he suits them. What he wants and what he can get just doesn't look like it suits. I want to say Brookhuizen 3. That's the name. I hope I'm right. He says West Ham best keeper. Wolves for 4, says Gary McDonald. West Ham are stuttering as well. There's a lot of draws being thrown in there. Could be anyone, says Kev. They're all a bit shit and inconsistent. Yeah. Arsenal for Cahill. He reckons they'll get it. If Neto comes back forward and Wolves have a chance. I think he's had a problem with the injury, hasn't he? That was a week or two ago. Somebody said that to me, and I haven't heard anything since. I don't know if Reclaimer's in today, but he will want those 100 likes. You're on 61. There's 171 watching, so give her a bash before you leave. Let me see. Red Steve, big curling update here. He says, not looking good in the curling. Even the girls 3 stones behind going into the final end. Can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. Eve and the girls will probably have to go back to the drawing board there, Steve. Arsenal will bottle fourth, says the faster tortoise too. They all seem to be bottling at the moment. But Arsenal seem to be the ones that are just on a little bit of form. And probably the most settled, would you say? Probably the most settled in what they're doing. Like West Ham have all that Kurt Zouma stuff going on. What's going on at United is just mayhem. Spurs look like they're treading water. You know, do Arsenal look the most reliable at the moment, the most settled? I think they might. City are boring to watch as live aboard MV. I've heard that a couple of times. I don't watch an awful lot of them, to be honest. When they go 1-up, I just go, that's it. And I head off. But a few people have said that to me. Constant just get to the byline and cut it back across the box. Match says United or Arsenal for 4th place. We had a chat on Jordan Henderson last night, and it was a good chat. And of course you can get the show. You can go back and watch it, or you can download and listen to it. But what do people think on Jordan Henderson? I'm kind of in the camp that, you know, he does look a bit off it. There's no doubt about that. I think with the players we have available now, and with the squad we have available, is it a chance, a bit like Joe Gomez, to turn to Henderson and go, look, you've been carrying the odd niggle, your back was at you last week, you know, you've played a lot of games. Could it be a chance for just Klopp to say to him, listen, take the next 2 games off and let's get you right? Because he does have a problem with a back, and he seems to be back fairly quick. I'm not too sure if that's working for him. Could it be one of those? A lot of people would claim it's just Jordan Henderson, he's not good enough, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not really in that camp. I'd like to give a player that's served us that well for so long the chance to prove himself. Now, don't get me wrong, if you get 2 or 3 weeks off and you come back and you go, he's fully refreshed, and he just seems to be a bit off it. Maybe we have another discussion about it. But right now, would it be best for Klopp to give him another couple of games off and go, let's get you absolutely right and get going then? You know, we can afford to do it over the next, say, 2 games or whatever. Hearts of Liverpool, Jamie Phillips says, good afternoon, Gav. Good afternoon, Jamie Phillips. I hope you're well. We've seen bad teams going for top 4 last season when we were gifted 3rd. Yeah, that's true. Like when you look what we were left with the fight with, we ended up getting 3rd, which was a bit crazy, wasn't it? When we were being written off. Hi, I just counterclockwise fingered the like button. Please follow suit. That sounds a bit weird, but fair enough. We would beat United when they come to Anfield. Yeah, I should hope so. We're way better than United. Way better. Like, what's going on at United is mayhem. It's all over the bleeding place, you know. Jesse Lingard got told to take time off, and then he's playing the other day. This is after him saying that he was ready to go and play. It's Ronaldo stuff's coming out. It's, you know, it's just not good there. It's just not good, and I don't know whether it's Ranić's not right for the job, even in a 6-month term, or Ranić is absolutely bang on right, and he's calling out a couple of players here, and they're just not having a bar of him. It's really, I really don't know on him. It's a show tonight, Gav. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. We're working on something this afternoon, but if there is, you'll know about it. It'll be across our social media. Sarah Vanan says, Hendo's been overplayed, he needs a rest. I think it might be that. Paul Gormley thinks he looks knackered. I'd rest him for a few weeks or a month and he'll come back ready to go. I also agree with that. City just like playing those shitheads on FIFA that run to the byline and cut back for a scabby goal to around the chase. Oh, someone got that done against them by the sounds of it. Yeah, but that's what a couple of people have said that. I would have Elliott start on Wednesday, let Henderson have a rest. So the rest thing seems to be coming across, which is good. You know, it's getting away from just, you know, it's getting away from us just writing players off and making big mad statements on players after a couple of games or whatever. On form, Henderson should have a couple of games on the bench to rest and recharge. Plus, we've seen this Henderson, he relishes the challenge to win his place back. I think he'll have a fight. I think he will. Because I've said it. I don't care how young he is. Harvey Elliott is made for that right-hand side of number 8. In previous versions of this Liverpool side, he doesn't. Going back probably year we win the title, year we win the Champions League. But what we're trying to do in midfield now, it actually suits Harvey Elliott better than anyone else. That's just my opinion. Our bench yesterday beats this United team, says Paul Gormley. They're just really bad. And Dicko reckons United are us from the 90s onwards. So there's a bit in there. United are in the mud, says Arsenal for life. Carvalho thought Gav, he is coming soon. Yeah, I don't know if they can announce it, but it looks like it is close to being done or done already. But I don't know if they can announce it because of the way the contract is and stuff like that. But we'll have to wait and see. Inter on Wednesday. Anyone want to give me some early predictions for Inter on Wednesday? Let me know. Throw it in there. I'm going to finish up in a minute or two. But like I said, we'll try sort the show out for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. There'll be a midweek fix tomorrow. There'll be full-time Reds on Wednesday. There'll be a quiz on Thursday and Sports Unplugged on Friday, and the cop update as always every afternoon. Jamie Holmes says most balanced midfield is Fabinho, Thiago, Elliott. I do agree, but we should be able, with the numbers we have, to probably change one or two of them and still go out and play the way we want to play. If the players are up and performing and want to get into this side, they need to be able to replace any of those three and keep us playing the way we play. Liverpool 2-1, says James LFC. Paul Gormley says we win 3-0 on Wednesday. 3-0 win, Salah double. 3-1 Liverpool, says Owen. 2-1, says Real Talk Liverpool. 2-0, says Ali A. Loads of wins here. 2-0 by Redman. And somebody says, Red Steve says, check the Trippers Gmail. I'll wait here on my high horse till the apology. I can check now live if you want, or I can check it afterwards and come back to you with a response tomorrow. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, he sent a picture. Let me see. He sent the picture. This is really good content, but I don't know what it means. He just sent me a picture from his show last night. He says, see always good comments. I'll expect a grovelling apology from you, Keith and Chris. We'll have to investigate that, Steve, further. We'll have to investigate it further, and we will make a response to you. Okay? Loads of 2-0s. Mane 2, Diaz 1, 3-0, says Dylan O'Rourke. Diaz first goal, LFC 3-0, says Vernon. 0-0 to us by 3 goals, says Red Steve. So there you go. Let me see. No team in Europe has lost less games in all competitions this season than Liverpool, so we should be optimistic. 3-0. Italian football is miles off the Premier League. Look at the AC Milan game. I think, yeah, could be. Red Steve said this is great TV. Yeah, well, you're sending me emails and ask for groveling apologies, so let me check it out and I'll email you back and then we'll see how we go. But if you want me to make a response then on the show, I absolutely will. But we stand by what we said last night until investigations are completed. I love this madness, though, I really do. 84 likes. The Reclaimer will want 16 more, just to let you know. Not me, the Reclaimer. But that's been a really good show. We've got through a lot. As I said, we're trying to sort something for tonight. If we can get it sorted, we will let you know across our social media. Don't forget to check out Féileacáin. Link for their website, link for the donate page is in the description. We're just about quarter of the way there. 2,500 of the 10,000 just about reached. Every penny counts. If you can help, please help. If you know anyone that can help, send them on the link, or just send the link on to everyone you know and let them have a look, because I think after reading it, they will be kind of going, oh yeah, no, I'll throw these a few quid. So do that if you can. If you're a subscriber, go to the community tab, click in there. You will see the details for our messenger service. It's all done on an app on your phone. It's really easy. There's loads of people in there having a lovely, lovely time. And if you want to join that, you can click in it. Takes a minute or so to set up via giving them an email address. You can get it for absolutely free, which is fine, or you can donate $2.99 a month to the LFC Daytrippers, which will go towards the running of the app, and anything else will go to charity. We're not taking a penny out of it. The $2.99 gets you nothing extra. It's just a way to support us, to help charities and keep that messenger running. So if that's for you, absolutely go and check that out too. That has been the COP update for today, which is a Monday. We will talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Over and out.